Hello, Zino. It's good to see ya. Up high. It is 6 o'clock. Can I beat this case in 3 hours? I kinda doubt I'll beat this case in 3 hours, I'll be honest. This has been a long one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. OBS says it's making a lot of sound. I wonder if it's because I had the wrong device on. It's one of those games that just defaults to whatever you have when you first open it and then never changes it. There we go. Oh, hello, Dave. Good to see you. Is it your birthday today, Dave? I set a thing on my calendar for it, but I wasn't actually sure if I said it right or if it was just a mistake. I thought about buying something for you on Steam, but then I remembered that they won't let me do that because the difference in currency between American and Canadian is too wide. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyways? I'm a little confused. Huh? Oh, well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st, in a prosecutor's parking lot, and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? Prosecutor's office and police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're gonna find out, or try to at least. Alright, let's do it. She's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright, huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. How do you even see through those? They're pink. I'm just moving windows around. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there, who cares? It's only our victim who was killed in their evidence room, no biggie. Sister would never do such a thing, I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? When kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. Erasing evidence of the crime scene, never. It's just, we're professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether it was blood on the floor or not, the water in the oil drum washed it away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? Tradition calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know? You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done this test? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Just enter this rate on signs of bloodstains. Wow. It's so... you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. No, this is a blood stain. It doesn't something odd strike you? Let me strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course. the amount of blood. Trader and Detective Goodman fought here. Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. Gotta mark up the floor plan so when you find the blood stain, okay? Yeah, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Drag that hidden evidence out into the delighted day. Yeah. It's like we're really investigating crime now, does it? I hope the later games do stuff like this because, like, investigating is the fun part. And, trying every dialogue choice in the court scene is less fun, which is weird because it's Ace Attorney. Miss Star. You only trust your eyes, and not bad, you two. The state old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't, or that kind of lead doesn't get in my mouth watering. You certainly put me on a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room up there, but I was afraid I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Yeah, she hasn't been detained or anything for lying. Yo, don't forget what's important here. Even though the place I witnessed the events was from different, I still saw what I saw. Chief Prosecutor, Sky, stabbing man, cold blood. I stand blah 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 blah. Thrown him out as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. That photograph has something to tell. But what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me, they coughed it up. They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. Before long they called me the Cough Up Queen. When here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go or fired? It's because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, doesn't she mean? Tell me about SL9. What do you think about this? SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over, not yet. You think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Could you tell us more about the SL9 incident right now? I got problems when I try to Steam gift Steam games to Indonesia or something like that. It really happens to me. Gift a bunch of games that way, but I know it's annoying. Don't want anyone buying anything. Examine the shoe and you'll find it's actually made of a sponge that absorbed all the blood. What I say, I think the cases are pretty similar in terms of balance of investigation and courtroom. Dang. I have hopes that the later games are a little more... I don't want to say logical because they're never going to be there, but I don't know, just better conveyed, I guess. Well, where should we begin? Oh, isn't that obvious? We should begin with, you know, that thing. Mystery of the victim, I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in 2 places simultaneously? Go to the police department. The evidence room, was it? I'm not being very useful here, am I? You're being very helpful. Poor Edgeworth. There's that business with them not reading the officer's report. The killing of the police department, right? Chief of Police is right about that, but I can't help but think someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. Golly gee, who could it be? Here's my badge. See? This guy's in questioning. Oh, the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Ganthe arrested a suspect in the police department murder? He must be frozen with fear thinking that he bite me next. I hope this guy gets exposition. The detention room guard. Everyone looks deadly serious here. There was a vicious murder of detective down in the police department. The same detective was also killed in the same time in the prosecutor's lot. It makes my head hurt. First things first, let's check out the police department crime scene. I'm dead set on investigating. Don't mess up or we could wind up dead. Anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now? Okay, no one's gonna help us much either. So one of the detectives, he's mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room could be sealed shut. It's good, I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel. Chief of detectives, he's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Hell, no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything! Someone's getting a demotion. The blue badger. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Well, the dancing blue badger trademark is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely. It's cutting edge stuff, very now. Showed this doll to my daughter and she burst into tears. Show her the moving mock-up outside then, you'll give her nightmares. Don't count on logic. The first case of the entire series is the best. It's a roller coaster of quality after that, really. The first... I'm gonna have to go and rewatch the first one. Because, I mean, it's been so long. I'm just worried that, like... Because, like, in the trial yesterday, I got stuck, like, a bunch of times, and I just don't want to have to look things up. The engine guard doesn't get a single line of dialogue or mention outside of examining him. Dang. Seems busier here than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. Evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. Like a kid at an amusement park. Real crime scene, let's go take a look. Oh, well here's a marshal dude. So the decor in this place, it's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So, beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh. Oh. It's those cacti, they're so prickly, so imposing, it's hard to think straight. What I want to know is, if this is the guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Could that floor lasso? Looks like it's set up to trap something. Trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. Should have an active imagination. The lack of music is a little concerning. The security guard uniform hanging here. More like a costume than a uniform. Leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? Punchy? Paunchy? Pinchy? I don't know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Yipes, these sure are prickly. It must be the real deal. I think just one big one would be sufficient. Cacti. A lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. More of an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a video feed from the evidence room here. The light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. But we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. This swinging door makes this place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. It's more of a yeah myself. This room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? We need someone's permission to go in there first. Where else can we even go? This isn't helping. Oh, let's see if it works. Of course, we should spray. Got him down! Sorry, I'm gonna use the whole bottle. Axis. Axis. Still writhing around. Can I take out his batteries? I cannot feel he's doing something naughty. I just started the case and I'm already lost. I'll just bunker down and play the 6th game this year. I'll start playing it the next plane trip I'm taking this month. Too many 30S and Vita games I've never played. First case is very straightforward, and it's a cool moment when you realize the thinker clock isn't using AM PM, it's very logical and fun. Tutorial of the 2nd game, the victim wrote the suspect's name after having her neck broken. Like, is there a reason I can't talk to Lady about other things? Yeah, I know SL9. Can you, like, just tell me about it? Just tell me about it. Just tell me about it. Just do it. Think about it. I could have taken that picture from the guard room. Even I get flustered sometimes, so you went straight to the scene of the crime. No problem. The whole my testimony is over. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Star. You were lying. Was the problem. I've had my testimony disregarded before. That time. That time. You're a guy, Miss Wright. You're supposed to know these things. By the time I got my driver's license. No time like the present. I'll kick it over myself. Hiya! Feeble. Gun him down! It'd be cool if they ported House of the Dead to 3DS or something. It could work. You just start blasting. What? Come on, lady. Oh, okay, now you'll talk to me about it. Instead, open my eyes with the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. The criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any clearer than that. Problem is, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But a criminal was executed, right? A basis of evidence of a sort, made up evidence. They executed someone with fabricated evidence. The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. They were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Self and one other person you know too well. Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As a professional detective, we investigated every case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, as lunches you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. How many does she have anyways? Just when all detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. Has to be a connection. So, rookie, what? You're serious about investigating this case. And you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Officer Marshall, is he or are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. Time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along with so well with my sister, maybe jealous. He was nice back to me back then. Now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. Putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Okay, finally. Please, huh? Wasn't that one steak lunch, please? Oh, it's you, Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. So the sound of his heart breaking. We just caught a criminal. Now we need evidence. Criminal, you mean? About the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? Just arrested him, in fact. Biggest scandal to hit the station age is everything's topsy-turvy. Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Well, all I know is I need a steak lunch, pronto. Standing around here talking is not gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave! No more, head out to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? I guess they did. Not to go too far down that road right now, things will just get confusing. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh no, it's this guy. Show the crime scene photo of the red car. Phoenix not having a driver's license is fine for one of the big cities in Japan, but it's bizarre for what's supposed to be Los Angeles, California. Dark age of the law. It's real tough to live in LA without a car. The point feels more like suburb sprawl more so than a fuller city like New York or Chicago. Texas would be worse seeing how the cities have been expanding. Lol. We forgot about this game. Peak game. I'm enjoying it. Mostly. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is there Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? Officer Meekin, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. Sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. Guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. But normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was another Officer Marshall. Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security monitor. So when I saw him, sir, a suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. Suspicious person. Yow, wow, wow, wow. What is this guy doing? So what happened then? Sir? Everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. When I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir, so I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. On his hand. Just like Sky. There's a similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. Things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I mean, you're probably, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. You have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir. Then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Ah yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Do you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. But you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light or any other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Or to have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand. That happened during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, I don't think you should just confess. But but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. To tell the truth, sir, when it happened. This guy's speech pattern is reminding me of friggin' Travis from Killer 7. Detective pointed that knife at me. I just hollered, sir. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? Victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Tell me about the Blue Badger. Still not here. Oh, edgy. Just as classy as it was yesterday, and I'm sure it'll be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. That's what he's doing. I'm guessing I have to show him something. But what? This is for you. Eek, I'm scared of knives, sir. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dreams, sir, and I was being peeled. I thought, you don't have to look at that knife. Reacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Oh, of course. I need to examine the steak lunch. Ingredients: meat. She must mean beef. She probably wrote it generically. Let's hope so. I have to check what additives she used. Go to town, huh? It says hours of sweat and labor, so that's why the sauce is so salty. Ugh. My mouth is watering. I can almost hear the sound of the steak frying on the grill. No doubt about it. No doubt it's all cold and tough by now. No, I'm sure it's delicious. Star poured her heart into making this, so long as she didn't put any other organs in there. Huh. You know who it belongs to. When you bring this everywhere you go. Well, you never know when something might go down. Hoot! Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir, that's it, that's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment, but sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You remember what... You mean you remember what happened? Correct, that card. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir, that's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman. He was in the evidence room. That's why you thought he looked suspicious. So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. He pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white when I woke. I was here. So Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. Because we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. The body disappeared from the evidence room. We don't know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. You still ended up here. Told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. The videotape from the security camera. The crime, my crime. The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on the tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry. Really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks. I have to go. Firmly grasp it! The localizer didn't bother editing the armband. I can see that. I gotta play Killer 7 again. I need to finish it. I stopped playing it. I don't know why my graphics are still so buggy. I wonder if it's just because I have a different graphics card. Fluctuations in expressions make him look bipolar. Give me a review of this Salisbury steak. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detective's desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. Undersea Ocean behind the computer monitor inside his personal coffee machine. Anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, worthy? Oh, you know, you're doing a little inquiry meeting with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with this boy since last year. An incident in Gourd Lake. It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit on the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Well, on karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career, but in court you fixed this so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, prosecutor's office is a bit of turmoil, you might say. Or they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Depending on what the inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. Samradot, I tell you, the detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? No, Righto, I can't give away our secrets just like that. Particular. Well, it's a little sensitive. I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyways. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. You know, it's a full-time job, just keeping the chief of detectives' trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier. Oh, you saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. See if we can if we can let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Oh, you had to see that. What exactly does the chief of police want you to do? See over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. He took away every piece of garbage in the trash can. Nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still there. Of course not. Except for this. But you kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. A lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Back to the investigating the police department crime scene. This guy's still not here? They want me to do something with this guy. Tell me about this. Shit. Okay, I give up. I give up! Five 584-2189. It must have. I'm pretty sure that the idea is someone was impersonating him, and they're like, couldn't... The imposter couldn't remember what his ID number was, so they made a mistake here. Because you think an officer would remember his own ID number. Take a look at this. Nope. You want this? You want this steak I got? You need to tell us more. Is this guy doing okay with Meekin streaming? Seeing a fellow patrolman in here must make him worry about his own fate in life. No comments from the peanut gallery. Take a look at this food. God. Tell me. It's still not here. Want this food? You want my luminol? Can I spray you? I'm gonna spray you like a cat. How about my badge? You wanna look at my badge? No? Oh, I guess do we have to actually go to the blue badger? Nope. Where did Gupfuck go? Really? Detective Marshall's not around. Let me in! Let me in! This is what annoys me. Oh, okay. There's a new talk auctioneer. I don't know, they would come when Wright asked me for help. We could investigate the evidence room. No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man, huh? Like, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50 to give him $50, no problem. So go ahead. Investigate the room to your heart's content and knock yourself out. Goes to show, you never know until you ask. For you here, you can borrow this. This is a detective's ID card, isn't it? It's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. I'm gonna do your best now. Later, folks. Hey, that looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go in the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on this girl. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader's turned off, see? What's the security guard thinking? Howdy, partner? Well, it made my Bambina sky so gray. Officer Marshall. What's that? Why does it have to be him? Look for. As me have surmised, this here is my saloon. I'm here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. I bet it's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw. Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Garbage is on again. While you're here, we're wondering if you can ask you some questions. Got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? Only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Have this. Take that! That smell reminds me of Texas. So, Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on the television the other day. Is this for my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what that means. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. He's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins is at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy, poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. Told us something. Said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from my detective 2 years ago, might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. He was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kind of like that stewed broccoli they sneak into your next steak, you know? So I told us something. She said you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole on a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Star, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved in the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go! So I prefer the courtroom where the investigations are easy to get lost and you have no leads. I feel like I get that in the courtroom as well. To mix everything. Gotta stop being lazy, get back to work. Peace out already. See ya, Davey. Have a happy birthday. And catch you around. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was that anyway? We've heard the name so many times but no one actually tells us what happened. There are some things you better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right, the evidence transfer rules. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them, there must be a dozen. Said Bambina. Mean machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. These ones here to understand here are the security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. Nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on the tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go in the evidence room, you need an ID card. The card reader leads a record of every ID that passes through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Or Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. A number I've seen before. See, this is the victim's ID card. The one that's on the ground in the parking lot. Where this is 5842189. Mr. Marshall, show us that ID card record again. For the 4th number, it's a perfect match. You said 514 right before the stabbing. It's more, there's only one of them cars in the world. When the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Entered the room and asked the man to display his ID card. He suddenly pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Wow. Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Got an idea. Maybe I should show this list of the people with IDs here. Sure. We can do that. I think this whole transferal thing is about. We only keep evidence from solved cases in this room. We're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so if we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? What happens after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. We call it transferal. We do it every February. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after the case is solved, it's closed forever, dead, never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. Meekins, could you take a look at this? Oh, okay, sure. Show it to the other guys with ID cards. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. Is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. You can't scare me. Ah! Whoa! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I would recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. Is it true what I heard? Yeah, it's true. So she was getting loan anyone $50? Even me? So that's what we're talking about. She was put in charge of the investigation for the day. Just for the day. Boss for a day. Guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. I should have this. $4989-596. Is this Meekinson? You take a look at this? It's the ID card record of all the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Whoa! What is it? That second number! It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth, what? Second number of this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day? It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. You're the boss. Why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. My own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Gumshoe? I am a detective, after all. Give me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. I always believe in Edgeworth, no matter what happens. Edgeworth is in the inquiry committee right now. We're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. This is what you can call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. This is more high-tech than you think. Every locker is fixed so only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? That's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That's like a lot. Even I can't lose my own right hand. Oh, you mean your fingerprint? The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. Only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. With the latest model, there's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor. If the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. That's what happened. My hand would be black and smoking every day. Guess the locks aren't that obvious. There's some people who try to force Of course, you don't know about the fingerprint locks. Edgeworth was most surprised anyone because of the SL9 connection. It was Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. The first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. What evidence from that case turn up now? Guess it's not over, pal. There are some loose ends left on that case. That was a bloody, violent case. Violence was murder. A serial killing. Killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. This was 2 years ago. That puts Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. It's supposed to be all cleaned up with a transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Detective Goodman was detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? Also the switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. Now look at this big pile of junk in the corner. Took a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some kind of sort of escape artist and he got away. One of those human profiles for the range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. What a bulky equipment gathering dust here. What a sorry looking fishing pole that is. Oh, that's my personal pole. Never did get around to using it. I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector. Would let us solve the case out of Gourd Lake. Feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen that one before. That's a bug sweeper, which will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap looking box. Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover, you gotta look at their heart. Something sticking out here. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. Oh, there you go, pal, making me out to some kind of slob. Not responsible for that evidence here. That said, bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, evidence gets dirty or ripped. Guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Bet he doesn't tuck his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Stuff with evidence, stuff with dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? That's the door we just came in through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would have happened if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art, I noticed there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room? Someone must have broken something big to make all those pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. It's apparently from The Case. The Case? The SL9 incident. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. Gonna try to put it back together? Good luck, pal, that's no job for amateurs. Why I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. This piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in peace. Oh dear. That's the top. Oh, I think I did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Some pieces stolen, but they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. Can't understand how it got broken. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. There's one open, and the red indicator light above it is lit. The locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Sure it's okay to leave it open like that? It'll be hard to get it open if we close it again. It's empty. What's this? Blood? A little warm, but there's definitely a handprint there. I'm gonna try to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? Some pieces are missing in too. Doesn't seem a little unstable, no wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Enhance! It must have been one massive pool of blood, never seen anything like it. Not professional, what's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Detective Goodman was actually an alien. Why, Penny shouldn't have asked. Stalker, that's mine. It's yours, please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify I wouldn't hurt a fly. You do that for me, won't you, pals? Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch the spot if he fled at the door. This might be something significant. Pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. It's a luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that, huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where'd you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Is there something you needed to be going to? The Edgeworth's inquiry committee is going to be letting out soon. I'm going to give him my report for the day. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure you can use a report like this. I believe in him. Yes, my apologies. It's you! Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Edgeworth here? There he is, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Well, yeah, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. Or Mr. Edgeworth. I think the whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this as not a case of concealing evidence, as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again? Again? I've heard them say it so many times, ever since that case years ago. You okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened? Gave me control of the investigation over the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation? This case will be directed by Chief of Police Gant. Nothing I can do but wait for his results. I see. Why ask you? Why? All along I've done what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of, but still. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information, right? It has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. Some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Alright, better check this now. As I saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. But why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. Chief of Police. You wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. You wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. Chief is never one to explain himself. In case on the day of stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. There's a lot of evidence. Tonight's incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time. Damon Gant. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. You never sue Mr. Edgeworth? Truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. What, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I'll do anything in my power to win a trial. I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. The chief prosecutor wanted to know something. You were still studying forensic science, of course. Saying Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid. And you might have a use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? You're sure we are the enemy, you know? I have no say in today's investigation, do as you will. No need to thank me. Take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. This is a secret weapon we just borrowed. Yeah, it's done. Sprinkle the aluminum powder around. How'd you do that? Powder right here is completely to the print. This powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. With E, exciting. Have I done it? Just fucking decimate it. You did it! You found one, but this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? It means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. We've only been wasting our time here. I mean, I think that's enough, right? Yeah, print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? It took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. We're not done yet. This is quite a process. No point in finding a print and not knowing who the owner is, right? Isaac can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprint are different places, right? It means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. These fingerprints would most likely find on this evidence locker. Wowie zowie. These prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. He gave this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. So I came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches. Yeah, there's another print in this room. Colonel. There was a handprint here. Area with the blood was wiped away, right? We'll end up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. Don't ask me. We must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Excuse me? Is that good enough for you? These fingerprints, who are they? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. It's gotta be coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. Decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminal reaction. The blood and fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. A wiped blood stain. How about Officer Marshall? Your investigation is turning up some results. This is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Oh, okay. What do you think, Mr. Wright? The prosecution is as confused as we are. The victim was murdered in 2 places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each crime scene. But as for yesterday, I was indisposed. We didn't hold you too long for questioning. It's finished. I'm used to all-nighters though. So how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? He agreed that if I told him the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean. But Lana, tell me you. Much to my regret. I mean, it's much as in the dark as they are about. Traces of evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints to be exact? That's the trump card I have in my sleeve today. You understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? Or to play the cards were dealt, isn't that right, Mr. Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. Court's not session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Defense is ready. Execution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. Takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Victim Bruce Goodman was slain in both places at the same time. It's not physically possible, is it? More, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. The body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. My duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will prevent evidence relating to murder at the police department. Doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Very well, the trial resumed. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness on the day of the stand. The prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. You mean the so-called murderer? Ooh, boy. This is gonna be rough. Yes, sir, I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like... Sir, I'm what you would call the part of a younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Though it is not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Victim, Detective Goodman attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That is the Meekins motto, the Meekins family motto, sir. And colleague helped you regain consciousness. He knocked me upside the head, sir. You work in General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I was in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime. which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. So that's why you went to the evidence room. What did you see when you got there? But a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card. Am I correct? I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is, I found it. This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. Number 4989596. Shown being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. It was during the second time that's when I spotted the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. You took good and pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with him charging on you like that, he looks surprised as I would. You're exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. How cruel your hand wouldn't be. When I saw blood trickling down my arm and panicked, I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? Spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then, next thing I knew, he punched me right in the face, sir. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Alright. According to the report for the officer, woke up with the witness around 5:30. Hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. For our mission? The Blue Badger, sir! Get him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Can all rest easy now. We have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. In regard, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Kent delivered it to me this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? A videotape? Absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Contains footage of the security camera in the evidence room. What? I was specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. The communication with the police department is as good as ever. Then let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, and please stop using the word murder, sir. It scares me. So, how convenient. It doesn't look like you won that one. I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyways, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone. Your Honor, instead of relying clearly on incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice. Start with you, Officer Meekins. Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. His face can't clearly be seen in the video. There's no question that other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a finger-activated lock. His locks ensure that only a locker can be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing, that would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? The face of the man who attacked you with a knife. Sir, you must label as people as having seen or not seen the man's face. I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were in front of him the whole time, were you not? You were the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. The kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bit my badge on it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Suppose you might say that. Only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? Did the label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Oh! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we're not in the best of moods. Now please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. With these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all methods in the past. Only respond to registered fingerprints. Man opened the locker. There's a lock, which responds only to registered fingerprints. He must be the person the lock was assigned to. How do you know that information? The rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? Workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. The victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Must have been him. No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail not shown in this video is the man's face. Sir, you may say something, sir. Please do, after all. You're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. It was his hand who opened the fingerprint lock. It was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Unless the problem can find defense can find a problem with it. Sir, right. Let's check the court record again. There must be a problem. One thing that particularly seemed rather strange. Strange? The contradiction of this possibility that Manon may not have been Detective Goodman. Interesting, Your Honor, I have a proposal. Suppose we have the defense point out this alleged contradiction in the video. I'm gonna point it out. Very well. Let's inspect this piece of evidence. Uh, yeah, even I don't know what I'm doing. Officer Meekins? You mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus looks like this. You have the handle of the sensor, raise your fingerprint. It's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my limited experience, that's what way I understand it, sir. So then something's seriously wrong with this picture. It's music, dude. We can reach for the handle, open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. At least they don't play the music in reverse either. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. Locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Oh! Order, what's the meaning of this? Very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. The door's shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. It's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well. Just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Your Honor? Why wasn't the locker locked? Your Honor? Yes, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Oh, maybe something like something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor, you say? Something out of place in this video. There's got to be another clue in this footage. The locker wasn't locked. Oh, right. There's a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh good, they stopped playing the music. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's my experience that things fall out of doors when they're opened.
Objection!
We can't be sure the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. You mean the sensor triggered the lock when the door is shut? What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? This white thing wasn't inside the locker, it was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 or 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. So the door closed, I get I have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Only that would have to block electrical currents. Need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. The crime scene. Might have been something that fits the description. But sir, insulator, you don't mean... Please present relevant evidence. What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? I mean, it's a rubber glove. Near the locker, the thin rubber glove. Can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has the tag SL9 incident. Videos depict the victim opening the locker. In the case, the lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir! Order, order. So we are to believe that the victim, this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Mr. Meekin, please testify about this. Sir, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. It was a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2? There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Time of the crime, the detective had used his card. ID card record, I see. Here's your record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514, that was the victim. So before the crime, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing striking as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for a transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? Particular evidence room is used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. Only a few cases up for transferal there, and most of them clean up by noon. Let's move on to cross-examination. I believe this is rock solid. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. The card sits right next to my cuff, sirs. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember that it said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? Well, at remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. We noted that this record is the witness referred to. According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Maybe he's behind all this, being a prosecutor. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee won't want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed regarding my actions or their consequences. And now let us continue with the cross-examination. Earlier, I believed you testified when I asked you to show the man's ID card. With a knife on you? Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Do you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. Any reason to draw a knife? Maybe he just panicked. Confused. What? Problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. Not like Edgar dismissed something like this. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene, the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. And I have one more piece of evidence to present. Very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. I guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? See for sure, but there's a high probability. The day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now what does this all mean? Only one thing, it doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Wow. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? One thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. The locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. The victim in the video is a fake, and the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security room camera does not show the instance of the murder. I guess that's right. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, since you finally realize exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place in the police department at 15 on the day of the crime. The real crime could have only taken place at one location, the underground parking lot. The murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The evidence room leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekin encountered? Where did this person disappear to? The trial's purpose was to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so. But you have to do something, or else Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Well, let's see what happens. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you've objected to what you've just proven. Of course not. I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? Cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. Security video not show the actual murder. The fabric. And it be said that this murder is unrelated to the murder. This is unrelated to the murder in a parking lot. Larger amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident in the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for the incident. The defense would like to request a specific witness. Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. Truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether to comply. Person you have to testify. What is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Not sure if I know anything yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. He's responsible for guarding the room. We should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department, which needs longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Or on a recess, baby. No stopping you, is there, right, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Called for Jake Marshall. Means you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. You're the one who knows everything. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Do you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around all on duty. Top it off, you call me here. And happier people at funerals. Alright, detective. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, of course you used Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years I thought it was you who'd ask me. Could it bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I brought her here. You might do well to read them. You Chief Prosecutor, you were a witness in that case. Sky was a witness? Joe Dark killings. Get from me. You want anything to do with serial murders? What? Now that I brought your stuff, you're ignoring me? Emma, why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there. I don't know. Unless... It couldn't be, Lana. This SL9 incident, is that? It's a classification of the classification number the police filed it under. Years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, Lana, that's over with. Wait, she ran away? Oh, you know what? I just remembered, I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gann, Miles Edgeworth. Mission Lana and Emma. Everyone in this case is connected with those killings 2 years ago. This can't be a coincidence. For the trial, better take a good look at this file. You mean the mistrial of Miss Lana Sky? I didn't come back. He's in charge regarding the evidence room of the day of the crime. Witness, state your name on occasion. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. For my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? Never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? Why is everything gonna fall off my desk? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best that we get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime in plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Say I'm supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Guys, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. Remember right? I was at the street side saloon at the time when it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks and the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? One seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? To make sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing that aren't useful. When time come, I'd erase the tape. Nothing usual is recorded. Tapes are erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. So you didn't actually... In actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. The day of the crime, between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. The rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. Haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How's the guy avoid getting fired? Used to be a detective, so used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? I ain't good with machines. I couldn't tell you how a bike works. It's quite incredible. What did you order at the saloon? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia pasta. Okay. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want to raise this year? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That evidence, or as you call it... If you plan to pin me in this crime, you better draw, otherwise you're wasting my time. No, okay. Oops. I should have saved. Zoom. Meow. Neil Marshall. Headed around snake crime. I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. I want to say because the tape shows the thing being crammed into his locker, so clearly he was in there. But that might be something later they're trying to do. And we're back to guessing. Marshall's strike is odd. Are you calling in to testify like this? Girl, you were in the security room at the time of the crime. Yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. Quite simple. You left a very large trail that was behind the scene. Exact the handprint. That's a really good partner. Like I said, I'm a caretaker of that crypt. Pay my respects. It is. I make my rounds about once a month. Only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. The luminal has clearly revealed this. Seems to me, there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Do you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Natural from my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be in the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Murderer touched the locker with where my fingerprints was by chance. The fingerprint are completely unrelated. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? So he had nothing to do with it. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Guy's hiding something, I can feel it. One more thing. Locker happens to be mine. What do you mean? That's what I said. Sodium chloride? It'd be strange if my prints weren't on a locker. So then, what about the bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. It was covered with my prints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. You know, you get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You want to know why? Then the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other's sudden murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. How did you know that? Be a loner, but I do my job. I keep up on the reports. There's a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint. Place their hand on top of our marshals. It's illogical intrusion. You starting to get the picture? The picture? Seal of blood and desert. It's food for the buzzards. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. So he does next to useless. It's full of blind spots, places you can't see. Panning back and forth. Floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Show us evidence in any case, Officer Marshals. I got this in the bag. And if I don't, then I'm gonna fucking throw my computer out the window. Attention to the security camera is a mistake. I'm afraid you'll soon not forget. Short in Texas, so our temper is. We have to say 8 words or less. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words, not bad, partner. The key lies to a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now let's rewind the video a bit. Officer Meekins is dead. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. It's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? Doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. Not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? Call your bluff. You opened the locker? Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor? Talked about this earlier today. Lockers can only be opened by detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. The locks aren't that obvious. There are even people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got one word for you, partner. No! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. Are you sure this is no joke, Officer Marshall? Tell us what you're doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? Sorry, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. You can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. That's so, where was the witness? See, Mr. Wright has the answer. Let's hear it. That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video was Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. He pointed out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He specified about the man's reaction when confronted. Pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he show it? He would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. Got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. You have to do a lot better than that to break a detective, unless you have hard evidence to prove it. I dressed up as a victim. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have evidence proving you shot out of doubt Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see fear in your eye, partner. Seems you're one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you something told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. That'd be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in the disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open this locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that he might have been discovered later as they've been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. Going to defend his argument. Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that the white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate he opened it to put the cloth inside. What exactly is this piece of cloth, perhaps? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Duh. My guess is the blood. Yet, the unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid your coat in the locker. Not bad, partner. Damn, it got Meekins. Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I'll be happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, you weren't half as persistent then as you are today. Y'all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright, seems the time has come. The time has come, and so have I. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. One thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. No one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins had managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It's way too much blood for such a small donation. When you say it, you mean my dick? SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with a transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. The incident's not over. What do you hope to accomplish by sneaking in the evidence room? Case is closed. Only a case's lead detective can go through the evidence. I have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone else says, partner. The case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of the investigation. Why does he care so much about it? It was my last chance, that's why I... Well, they have a detective's ID. Why'd you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goldman was carrying out the evidence transferal, the rest were stealing evidence, which won't get me anywhere. So you did the full security camera. Detective's ID card. Stole the morning of that incident. That really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. Essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could have. You could just because a rubber glove hadn't been stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins to try to drive him off. I was a little surprised. Found to be in the evidence room no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in such a short time. Meekins is certainly one in a million type person. Taking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. He threw himself at me and I ended up putting him slightly. Sorry to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it'd make a difference though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If I had all gone as planned, no footage would have been left. Bloody dear couldn't struggle with Officer Meekins. Someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. Blood on the seam certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? Victim shown on tape is me. I know I'm dead yet, partner. Stole her in the evidence locker. Actually, no I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone? Redruth, where's that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Sir Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Must have decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. No small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. Can't be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. Do anything it takes to get the answer I'm satisfied with. The case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? The reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved a sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involves serial murders. I intend to claim about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down at the trial. Something no one will ever talk about. What happened? I don't know, but I'm trying to find out. Is he so concerned with that incident? Should put him with what I think his real reason is. You know what up here sooner or later. Everyone's involved in some case. Let me just make sure I know what page it's on. Page 2, okay. Objection! Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He's talking about the King of Prosecutors award. I remember Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. The case fell into your hands. What's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant. Group of detectives. I was part of worked under them. We're desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say, no matter how much you try to hide it. You can't fool me! Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. So Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Mystery has been cleared up. No murder took place in the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze me. Exactly the same time the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going at the police department. Chance? Got to be more than that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was a real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But the one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me the boys got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. Testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. The response make it a single word or less. I rest my case. Here's the conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't waste my time during the alleged murder at the police department. Didn't realize it would end up proving Lana guilty. Objection! Your Honor, wait. Emma, defense has an objection. A scientific objection, right? What do you mean, right, Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian, Your Honor? In a sense? Please, Your Honor, I'm asking for a minute of your time. Hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. Finding out SL9 innocent is referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it. Names of both Sky Sisters were in the file. That's when I figured it out. Officer Marshall was trying to do that day, so I knew. Fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left the only one thing, the other handprint. Traces of blood found on Detective Gunshoe's locker. No fingerprints are found of it. No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. What, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. I'm just an attorney, but Mr. Wright, traces of blood are the only clue we have. Can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. Anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Alright, let's get our save out. Regard the incident at the police department. Does anything a reasonable doubt remain? Because the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. The floor plans, the handprint was discovered around here. The problem with this? I object. His handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The thing clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me. Problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? Something has been drawn on here? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. The defense isn't simply trying to buy time. All the evidence here, there's something I can use. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger. The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of the truth. Guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Let's look at the floor plan crime scene. Blue Badger is not here, so watch what happens when you put him in. Well, what? As long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot in the locker. What? So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put them here. Think through it scientifically. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger into the evidence room. After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker, so that means this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. Problem is the other time. Someone blood prior to struggle on this tape, if that had been shown. It'd have to be Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, it will not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Well then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? Man, you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as a detective, another incident took place in the evidence room. Blood mark on the locker proves this. Then tell us. Oh boy. Oh boy. Uh-oh. First incident occur. Yes, the first crime took place. Oh jeez. If that crime took place inside the evidence room, the color would have been accurate. To do so, the ID card would have been required. The ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel in at the evidence room. Here, 4:50 p.m. The crime took place before that, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah. Oh! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the Lumal tests the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. It would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry the body away, and clean up the blood. Fortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. There's one other card remaining. Talk about a lucky number. That doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? There's no record of his card using beforehand. He must have entered along with the real murderer. Only plausible explanation. He went in with 777. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777. That's a 17 too many, Your Honor. Fortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge is filed against an executive is accepted. Official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and forgeries. how a prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask a question. No, not to you, to her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive, Lana. Don't be stupid, she's been charged with murder. Of course, we looked up her ID number, and it's not 777-7777. Don't play me for a fool, that's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of prosecution for that trial. Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Well, Atlanta, I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. Or I realized that we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in the crime, in the eye and say that you did? I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Even if it involved forging evidence. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No! Chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled until the following day. This doesn't end. Day 3 investigation. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Should we call it there? I'm kind of hungry. And we're going back to the investigation phase. Okay. It's a little shorter, well, it's mildly shorter stream, but man, I'm hungry and we're like not even close to finishing this, are we? I think maybe, well, how many days is this case, dude? I'm gonna have to look it up because I wasn't expecting it to be that long. I knew it was long, but this is even longer than the last one. Like, crazy. I have to admit that I am starting to remember how the case goes now, or at least like how it concludes. So I can't pretend to be too surprised at what's going to happen. The part that's happening right now, I don't remember, but I remember how it ends. I'm fairly certain I remember the conclusion. But goddamn, I wasn't expecting it to be this long. I gotta... Maybe we're taking a break from Phoenix right after this case. I don't know. This was a long one. I wanna jump into some other games. Maybe, I don't know. Should I stream the rest of this? I know Dave really likes it. I'll stream it for Dave and whoever wants to watch. I finally remembered what I first recalled when you started streaming this game, the cold showers girl meme, where the two guys are in character, Phoenix and Edgeworth, debating her claim intensely. There was steam on the mirror immediately making the claim sus. It's funny how big of a deal to make a forging evidence, considering it's a big part of the plot in the fourth game. God damn. God damn. Gotta get yourself a good old Salisbury steak dinner. I wish. I wish. If I lived alone, you bet your bottom that I'd be making like ground beef like steak burgers all the time. Just because it'd be cheap. Cheap and tasty. The best kind of meal. While that's on my mind, I just have to remind myself what this stream list was looking like. Xenosaga and Bug Fable. Should I do A and B? Am I gonna forget how to play? I'm worried about having 2 long RPGs on the list. I kind of want to do a long, like an RPG game and a shorter game on the side. Or just maybe a non-RPG on the side. We shall see. Do cards for do you feel best? You're tired of acing the turns, feel free to drop it. Not that I'm tired of it, it's just that I'm worried it's gonna take a really long time. I just want some variety, is all. The problem with Ace Attorney is that with these long cases, I can't just drop it for like a stream because then I'll forget what happened, and we'll have a incident like the Silver Samurai case. I think I have enough games that I can do a shorter one. Yeah. We'll have my own backlogs day and a main game day, I think. Game I don't plan on committing maybe super hard to, and a game that will be like a focus. Because I'm sure some of these games shouldn't take too long. I'm a little concerned about some of these, because some of these look long. We'll see. Make 4 egg omelets every now and then, throw in some lunch meat, cheese, salt and pepper. Yeah, I like me a good omelet. Okie dokie. If that'll be all for the time being. Yeah, I gotta work on some video. I gotta do a lot of things. I gotta stop slacking. Already. Taking a long break between cases might be best. Yeah. I mean, this is the end of the first game, so I think we can take a break after this. Alrighty. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Dave and Isaac and Wesley and Zyno. It's good to see y'all around. I must eat. I'll see you later. Goodbye.